So, good morning. I just wanted to talk a little bit this morning about being a military mom. um, my life is amazing. With my children, I've taken care of my children since they were 2 and 5, and raised them by myself as a single mom until I met my husband 5 years ago. Well, my kids have always been devoted to the military life. My son Jeremiah was in ROTC. When my daughter became old enough, she joined ROTC, and then it was military forever, because it's what they joined. My son wanted to be in the military from the time that he was 3. He told me that, I want to join the military. I want to join the military. He didn't know what branch, obviously, at 3, but that's all he was about. He was about, everything military related. It was him. That I knew that boy was dedicated at 3, that he was going to do this. Well, then he tells me at age 7 that he didn't know why he wanted to join the military. He just knew he was born to serve his country. Oh my gosh, it broke my heart, because here I knew that my baby was going to be going into the military when he was old enough. And, oh, look, a tear makes me tear up. And, I knew he was going to dedicate his life to this mission of serving his country. So, I was all for it. He knew more about being in the military than the military men that he talked to knew about it. We would go to fairs or carnivals or whatever, and you always have those military booths out there, and he would talk to those guys, and those guys would tell me, hey, he knows more about my job than I do. And I was like, yeah, that's why he's going to become one of you guys one day. Well, at this time, we still didn't know he was going to be a Marine. But he did his research, and as he got older and went into the JROTC and everything, and then my daughter followed behind him, because she wanted that life to go to school. And she knew that dear old mom here, couldn't afford for her to go to school, but we would have been looking at grants, and we would have been looking at, my income at the time, and we would have been looking at Pell Grants, and we would have been looking at all the things, scholarships, and all the things that would have helped her go to school. So she came to me and said, Mom, we're not going to worry about that, because, I can leave that stuff for other people who really need it. I'm going to go into the military. And I was like, once again, my baby's leaving me. My kids and I are super close. And when my son was graduating, and he was in he was going to his PT every week with the Marines, it was great. And then when it actually came time for him to leave, it was the worst thing that I ever went through. Still makes me want to cry. You can't call, you can't text, you can't communicate without letters. So let me compose myself here a minute. So it was very hard, and like I said, it still makes me sad, because it's just those emotions. Well, anyways. So he leaves me and goes off to start his life, and my daughter then decides, after we moved out to the country, and she went from being a straight A student to practically failing at the school that was out here, because issues that we were going through they weren't helping very well, and just different issues. She decides she wants to go to a military school that's an excelled school, and it was a 6-month process, and she got to graduate a year early. And where does she want to go? Well, she said she wanted to go to the Marines. Well, then she started researching and looking at all the benefits of everything she wanted to do. And she found out that the Air Force was what was good for her, because of going to school, because they could help her with her schooling. So that's where she's at. Well, I had got used to her being at home after my son left, and her and I became even closer than we were. Me and my kids are exceptionally close, anyways, being a single mom. So anyways, she ends up going off into the Air Force to basic training. And once again, I can't call you. I can't text you. I can't do anything but write letters. So I wrote both of my kids. I wrote them daily. I think I wrote my daughter more than I wrote my son, because with him, I kind of waited. I wasn't really sure what to do, and I kind of waited, and I would write letters every day, but then, I didn't get a lot of letters back from him because he was a lot busier. Her, whether she was at school or whether she was at basic training, she pretty much wrote back every day if she could. So with her, I was able to know more what was going on than with my son when he went there. But guess what? Mama still has all those letters, my letters and their letters, because you get them back after they're done. So anyways, when my daughter leaves and goes to the Air Force after she gets out of the military school, which we thought she wasn't leaving, for a few months, and then she ends up leaving, a little bit quicker than what we had thought. So, like I said, here I go again. No letters. All letters, can't communicate, crying. And this time it affected me even more with her than it did with my son, if you can imagine, because when he left, her and I became closer. So, I ended up, just, my heart was broken both times. I just felt like I lost a kid, and not being able to call him, and not being able to see if they're okay, and not being able to check up on them, and not being able to do all those motherly things. I was just at home with my husband, and my poor husband was just, he didn't know what to do. I would break down because I'd wake up in the morning and I'd remember she wasn't here. I would break down just to anything. I won't even go into it because it makes me want to cry now. So I say all of this to let you know that, I'm a military mom. I love my children. I love the Marines. I love the Air Force. I love everything that they're doing. I love my kids so much. And I just want to say, if there's any other military moms out there that are getting ready to go through what I went through, contact me. Let me know. Let me be a rock for you, because I had my husband, who was a huge rock for me at the time, but I also had other military moms. I had other people who had went through it, and I had other people who were going through it at the same time. So I do this video and cry and get all emotional on you, because I want you to know that I am here for you. If you are getting ready to be that mom who her kids are they're already in the military, but they're going overseas, get a hold of me. I will be more than happy to talk you through this and help you through it, and we can lean on each other. If your kid is just getting ready to go to boot camp, to basic training, to just wherever they're going to start their military life, and you are getting ready to do all those letters and no texts and no calls, call me, text me, get a hold of me. Because I will help you through this. Like, I love the fact that there were other military moms out there helping me, and I just want to be there and help you too.